Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to talk about our course special topics in biochemistry. Course code came 6462 and this is lecture number 4 of the series of our online lectures. Today we are going to talk about topic chromatography for biomolecules. So, the outline of today's lecture is we will talk about what is chromatography, then we will talk about the principles of chromatography and then we will talk about the standard terminologies that are used in chromatography, and then we will talk about retention. Sorry about that. Yes. We will talk about retention. So these are some of the topics that are part of this outline that we will study during this lecture. Chromatography, before proceeding, I would like to tell you chromatography is a very vast topic. There are many different types of this. In today's lecture, we will mainly focus on understanding what is chromatography and what are the main principles of these techniques. Then there are different types of chromatography. We will talk about some of the important types that are commonly used, and all these different types cannot be covered in a single lecture. So in this lecture I will try to give you background knowledge or understanding of what is chromatography, and then in the coming lectures we will certainly talk about the different types that are being used and that are available in different laboratories. So in this lecture our focus is mainly on understanding what is chromatography and its principles and the standard terminologies that are associated with the process of chromatography. So we will keep our focus in today's lecture on these things, and then in the coming lectures we will talk about the other details that are involved with different types of chromatography. So now we move to our first part of our outline. What is chromatography? Chromatography is the collective term for a family of laboratory techniques that is used for the separation and identification of mixtures. So with the help of chromatography we can separate and identify different components of a mixture. It was initially used for the separation of plant pigments, hence the name chroma, which means color. So the word chromatography comes from chroma, which means color, because it was initially used for the separation of plant pigments. From there it got this name of chromatography. Now we will talk about principles of chromatography, mainly partition and adsorption. Chromatography is a separation process that is achieved by distributing the components of a mixture between two phases, a stationary phase and a mobile phase. So in chromatography the separation is achieved or is done by distributing the components of a mixture between two phases. One is the stationary phase and another one is the mobile phase. So you have to keep this in mind, stationary phase and mobile phase. Now in R, chromatography is a separation chromatography is a separation method that makes a use of the differences in partitioning behavior between a mobile phase and a stationary phase to separate the components in a mixture. So you can understand it either way, and that it is separation process is achieved by distributing the mixture into a stationary phase and a mobile phase, or chromatography is a separation method that makes use of differences in partitioning behavior between a mobile phase and a stationary phase to separate the components in a mixture. Now, those components held preferentially in the stationary phase are retained longer in the system than those that are distributed selectively in the mobile phase. Components of a mixture may be interacting with the stationary phase based on charge, relative solubility, or adsorption. Now, there are certain things which are common among all the chromatographic procedures. So, all chromatographic systems, they contain a stationary phase, a mobile phase, sample molecules, that is mixture for separation. So these are some of the components which are common between all the chromatographic procedures that are available. Movement of molecules is determined by the balance between two forces. Two forces are important for determining the balance. One is impelling or driving force of mobile phase carries with it molecules for which it has affinity favored by solubility or volatility. Solubility in case of LC or liquid chromatography, and volatility in case of GC or gas chromatography. So we will talk about this detail in when we talk about types of chromatography. So you have to understand that impelling or driving force of mobile phase carry with it molecules for which it has affinity favored by solubility or volatility. And another force is retarding force of stationary phase, holds back or retains molecules with which it interacts, that is retention. Balance between forces differs for different molecules, retarding effects, that is partition and adsorption. So it means different mobilities, hence separation of components, which is the purpose of doing chromatography, that components of a mixture are separated. So you have to keep this in mind, that different mobilities results in separation of components. Now the ratio of solubilities in the two phases is quantitatively given by the partition coefficient, that is represented by K. The partition coefficient is defined by the following equation. K is equal to concentration of solute in stationary phase over concentration of solute in mobile phase. So you have to keep this in mind. This K, partition coefficient, is achieved by the ratio of concentration of solute in stationary phase over concentration of solute in mobile phase. K, our partition coefficient, is assumed to be independent of concentration and can change if experimental conditions are changed. For example, temperature is increased or decreased. As K increases, it takes longer for solutes to separate. For a column of fixed length and flow, the retention time Tr and retention volume Vr can be measured and used to calculate K, or partition coefficient. Now there are certain standard terminologies which are associated with the process of chromatography, so you have to keep them in mind. They will come time and again. So one is a sorbent. This is, in other words, also called stationary phase. Solid support or matrix. Its job is to hold the stationary phase if the stationary phase is liquid. So sometimes it's possible that stationary phase can be liquid, but if it is liquid, then you need solid support or matrix, and it will hold the stationary phase in that case. Now solvent or developer, in other words, it is also called as mobile phase. Solute or analyte, components in the mixture to be separated. So solute or mixture consists of components in the mixture that are to be separated. Chromatogram. Now chromatogram is the visual output of chromatography. Different peaks or spots on the chromatogram correspond to different components of the separated mixture. Now this is a very important thing that is called retention. It is a measurable quantity that has to be taken into account while studying chromatography. Retention is a measure of the speed at which a substance moves in a chromatographic system. In continuous development systems like HPLC, HPLC stands for high performance liquid chromatography, or GC, gas chromatography, where the compounds are eluted with the eluent, the retention is usually measured as the retention time, RT or TR, the time between injection and detection. In interrupted development systems like TLC, the retention is measured as the retention factor, RF, the run length of the compound divided by the run length of the eluent front. So as you can see, in case of HPLC or GC, it is measure is RT/RTR, the time of retention. And in case of other system, interrupted development system like TLC, the retention is measured is the retention factor RF. So it can be it will depend on the type of chromatography that we are studying. You will learn more about this when we talk about these different types of chromatographic techniques, but here you have to keep in mind that retention is a measurable quantity, and it depends on the type of chromatography, and it is can be either in the form of RT or TR, or it can be in the form of retention factor or RF. So you have to keep this in mind. Retention now RF is equal to distance moved by compound over distance moved by eluent. So this is the ratio of the movement of compound and distance moved by eluent. The retention time is the characteristic time it takes for a particular molecule to pass through the system. So this is what is the characteristic time it takes for a particular molecule to pass through the system is called retention time. Now, the retention of a compound often differs considerably between experiments and laboratories due to variations of the eluent, the stationary phase, temperature, and the setup. It is therefore important to compare the retention of the test compound to that of one or more standard compounds under absolutely identical conditions. So this is a very important measure that will be very helpful for identification. You see that different compounds have different retention times, and they can vary between experiments and laboratories due to variations of the eluent. It depends on eluent system in the stationary phase that is used, so then they also can make a difference. Temperature can make a difference, and the setup, overall setup, also has effect on the retention time. Therefore it is very important to compare the retention of the test compound to that of one or more standard compounds. So then under absolutely identical condition, absolutely identical conditions become very important, because this is how then you can compare the retention time, and it can give you information. For instance, if you have a mixture, you want to separate it, you use two different experimental situations for them. There is every possibility that you will get different retention time, because there are different. There can be variation in eluent, there can be variation in stationary phase, there can be variation in temperature, and there can be variation in the overall setup. So for comparison purposes, the retention of the test compound should be done to that of one or more standard compound under absolutely identical condition. When you perform experiment under absolutely identical conditions, then you will be able to get exact information of differences in retention time and how it affects your experiment, and then you can make true comparisons in this way. So this is how retention time should be. These different factors should be taken into account while measuring retention. This Hopefully this lecture overall give you an idea of what are the basis of chromatography, how chromatographic experiments are done, what are the main principles, what are the different terminologies that are associated with the process of chromatography. And then once you have knowledge of these, we will talk about the different types of chromatographic techniques that are available and its variation in different procedures. If you want to read further about this, you can you can study about this in physical biochemistry, application to biochemistry, molecular biology by David Friedfelder, second edition, and then there are certain other online lectures that are available that can be very helpful for you to understand this and do further readings of these. I hope you enjoyed lecture, and if you have any other question regarding this lecture, I will be very happy to answer. And in the coming lectures we will talk about the different types of chromatography techniques that are available for this purpose. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next lecture.